Yum. So we're going to be answering some of the questions that I didn't get to answer for my question and answer thing. So, this is going to be so... mukbang is weird. You can't talk with your mouth full. Like... You don't like it?
No, I just hate when you chew with your mouth open.
I didn't chew with my mouth open.
You do bite on your fork and chew with your mouth open.
I don't chew with my mouth open. So this person asked, if you could give any advice to your younger self, 13 through 15, what would you say? You go first, because...
I think mine would just be, like, figure out how to be alone. Like, when I was that age, I don't think I was ever alone, ever. And then, especially, like, 15, I jumped into a relationship and just spent my whole life in that relationship, like, my whole younger adulthood. And so when I was single for the first time, I was, like, 21 years old, and I was like, oh, great, now what do I do? I've never been single in my life. So I would definitely just say, like, be okay with being alone from, like, a younger age, so it makes it easier when you grow up to, like, be like, okay, like, this is normal.
Yeah. Okay, I have mine. No, that's good, though. This is just from, like, personal experience, but basically, like, when I was, like, 13 to 15, I don't know.
It's a big age range, because 13 is very different
13 is so different than 15. Yeah, this is high school, so this is before, like, what I was gonna say is, like, to, like, plan for the future a little bit more.
Right.
Like, I didn't, like, this is probably when I was, like, 16 through 17 or 18, like, that's when I was, like, doing really well financially, and I thought that was literally gonna last forever. And I didn't think that I had to, like, worry about savings and saving money and planning for, like, anything other than just, like, living in the moment and spending my money on stupid shit that now I'm just like, oh my god, I should have saved so much more money. But yeah, I guess 13 through 15, so that's like 8th grade and 9th grade. Ugh, I mean, my main thing would just be like, not give so much of a fuck what people think about you.
True.
I mean, when I was like...
Actually, I think I gave way less of a fuck when I was in 8th grade.
I did to an extent, but at the same time, like, that was like when I would literally not leave the house without a full face of makeup on.
Oh yeah, this was your 4 a.m.
Yeah,
every day
this
for
was
high
like,
school.
yeah, like I would wake up so early for high school, and I would literally be late to school, like making sure every one of my eyelashes was like perfectly straight. Like I would be with tweezers, like making sure my eyelashes were like perfect before I went to school. Now I'm just looking back, I'm like, most people like literally wore sweats and like no makeup and stuff. I went to school without makeup like 3 times in high school. Like that's so
crazy
fucked.
to me.
I know, like I
did both.
I just put way too much pressure on my looks. Like that's like, I thought that that's like all I was good for. I still struggle with that actually, but
I mean, like any of it would matter though in high school. I would do both. I would be like the crackhead that pulls up literally like this, like my hair in a bun, like I don't care about anything. Do I have something black on my face or is it a shadow? And then the next day I would like have my hair perfectly curled and have like full wing eyeliner on. But yeah, my teachers would say things to me when I would like do certain things. I had one teacher that like literally bullied me.
Like what?
Like if my hair, because like that was more when like scrunched hair was in. So I would like try to scrunch my hair and it'd be a little bit crazy. And they'd be like, oh, like who let the lion out tonight? Or like just like little comments that like I didn't really feel that attacked by at the time. But then I look back and I'm like, why are you as an adult like making little comments about me like trying to look pretty when I'm 14 years old?
Yeah, no, that's fucked.
But your sister living with you ever vegan?
Vegan.
I spelled vegan wrong, but I wouldn't say I'm like vegan. I'm plant focused, not plant based. So like I fully eat.
Where did you hear that?
I made it up the other day and it sounded pretty good. Like when I'm at home, like we don't buy anything that isn't vegan. So like when I'm cooking at home, it's all vegan. But sometimes if I'm drunk and like my friends and I want to go to like a Wendy's at 2 a.m., I might get a chicken nugget. Which is not good, but I'm honest about it. Yeah. I was really good when we first moved here, but...
Yeah, it's better than just being like, oh, like, I can't be perfect at it, so I'm not going to try at all.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like progress is better than perfection when it comes to that.
Yeah, it's just, like, more of a convenience thing for me. So it's like, if I'm out and everybody's eating and there's, like, nothing on the menu that's vegan, I might, like, cheat and have a little bit of cheese and, like, a salad or something. But it's still, like... I don't ever feel like I'm missing stuff when I'm home. Like when I cook dinner, I like am very satisfied with what we made today, which was completely vegan. So it's like, I don't know. I kind of just do it as much as I can.
Yeah. What is your proudest moment in life?
Oh my God. Are we supposed to be proud, if anything?
I know. Is that a thing?
What does proud feel like? Can someone explain? I remember, like, I used to get so proud when I, like, won softball games and stuff, and now I'm like,
yeah,
I did laundry today.
I mean, yeah, no, seriously, like, but our generation, like, even that TikTok, like, that we saw earlier, it was just, like, nobody does anything unless they're, like, really good at it. So a lot of people don't even want to try anything because they know that they're not going to be, like, the best at it.
Yeah.
And
I think, too, especially in a pandemic.
But there's so much pressure to be, like, doing things that are really cool all the time. Or, like, yeah, doing shit that you're proud of, like, all the time. But it's, like, that ain't realistic for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But in your whole life, though, if you had to think of one.
I mean, like, as an adult, I'm proud of myself for, like,
moving here,
yeah, and taking that leap, like, as young as I did, and, like, deciding to, like, go start my own life for myself rather than sit at home and, like, be depressed about other people and stuff like that. Like, it was a big moving forward point for me, and, like, I'm proud of myself for, like, the relationships I've created with the people that, like, matter to me out here. But, like, I don't know if I could be like, that's my proudest moment of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I hope that's not when I'm older going to be the proudest moment of my life.
Yeah, no, it definitely changes because, like, yeah, it changes for sure.
So, I mean, for now, that's, like, one of my proudest moments as of recently.
Yeah, I mean, moving across the country is, at a young age, like, not everybody, I mean, it seems like a lot of people do it, but it's, like, it's scary. Like, go start over and, you know, if your car gets stuck at Ralph's, then you don't get to just, like, call somebody to come down and help you. Like, you gotta figure it out.
Yeah. When's the most that you, like, feel like we're, like, really far?
Hmm?
Oh, shit. I have a twitch.
Get your feet off the thing.
Twitch. Okay.
What did you say?
Like, moments today, like, when we were at Ralph's, is that when you feel like we're, like, the farthest from home? Or, like, when does it ever, like, really hit you that you're like, holy shit, I'm so far? Mine's, like, when I'm sick.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I haven't been sick in a while, so I haven't felt that.
I was deathly ill the last 2 days, but that's...
COVID, stay away from me, bitch. I think, like, right when I get back from visiting is when I feel I'm like, holy shit, like, I don't have any of that anymore. Like, I can't just, like... I don't know, it's worth, I don't know, like, without my pets, like, I think about them all the time, and I'm like, damn, like, I'm literally nowhere near them, and, like, I can't just get on a plane whenever I want, and I can't just get, you know, so, like,
when our dog died,
when Cody died, when Cody died,
that was the worst fucking thing.
That was rough, because I don't think we've ever, like, not been there when a family pet has died, so being, like, you can't just jump on a plane when your dog is dying, like, it's not... I mean, you could if you're rich,
especially when you're poor and it's a panorama.
And it's a panoramic. But I didn't really answer what my proudest moment in life was. But
go. I feel like you have some good ones.
Yeah, I mean, like back then, like when I was like my happiest, I felt like was when I was like popping off on YouTube. Like that's when I was like, holy shit, like I'm doing something here. And like going to New York by myself for the first time, like I was literally like, wow, I'm doing the damn thing. Because I was like so terrified to fly alone. And my manager was like, yeah, you can't bring your family. And I was like, okay. So yeah, I think flying, like, that's not like the proudest moment of my life, but that was a moment in my life where I was like, I'm like happy. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm in New York by myself. Like, I'm filming on like the 39th floor and there's like a whole film crew all there for me. Crazy. Like, it was like a really good feeling. But also, I mean, going vegan was like, I mean, still like the best decision I've ever made. And like, it's not like a proud moment because it doesn't take much to do that. Like, it doesn't, but like that was a big awakening period in my life where I was like, whoa.
I think that could be a proud moment for you because you kind of like chose in that moment to change your life.
Yeah, exactly. And choosing that didn't just like change my diet, like it changed my whole mind. It made me like question religion and question like the government and society and like all my trauma and shit. Like it made me really like open my eyes to a lot of different things.
Which can be very scary.
Very depressing. How does your mom and family deal with your struggle with mental health? I feel like we both kind of can answer that because I'm not like the only one that likes, I mean, I'm the worst in our family probably, but like.
But we definitely didn't make it easy.
Yeah, like.
Mental health was dished out in the family tree.
That is true.
I feel like they were like good about it and like supportive, but like when we both first started struggling, I think, who struggled first?
I think you.
I think I did.
I think you might have. I think we started around the same time, but it wasn't to the extent.
Because I know I was on.
To.
Yeah, but I know I was on antidepressants before you were.
I think you were actually.
I mean, I think it's hard.
I mean, I was 15 when I first got on antidepressants.
I think I was 14.
Yeah.
So then you were first. Because you were 15 way before I was 14. I was in like 8th or 9th grade.
Yeah. I was in 9th grade.
So yeah, then you were first. It's very weird, I think, for like people who don't experience it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like our oldest sister has just never really, like, she's asked me, she's like, what is anxiety? What's a panic attack? I don't get it. Like, you just start getting nervous. And so it's like, for me to be like, you don't even know what that is. Like, what?
So it's for somebody to not understand the concept of like really bad anxiety, I'm like,
or that's like the equivalent of someone being like,
there are people out there that don't have mental illness.
Like, no, I was on
what the fuck?
I was on like a party bus or something, and I was like, I'm getting claustrophobic. Like, I think I want to get off the bus. Like, I have anxiety. And my friend's response at the time, just chill. I'm like, I feel so much better. Let's party, brother. Like, let's get it.
Mm-hmm.
So some people, it's harder to support something that you really don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can try as hard as you want to be there for someone, but if you really can't understand it in like an empathetic way of being able to know what the emotion is, then it's just a lot harder. And so I don't know, our mom's really good about it, but there's some points where it's like, we don't want to. I always got to the point where I was like, I don't want to tell her that I'm being anxious because I know that it like scares her and it stresses her out, and I don't ever want to like do that. But then it would get to the point where it's like, I'm so anxious or I'm so like upset or depressed or whatever it is that I have to reach out to her because I don't know who else to talk to. And she's always been there. Like, she's always been really good about it. It's just, I think for her, still hard to like comprehend how bad it gets.
Yeah, for sure. Because that generation just didn't grow up with the knowledge that we have about mental health now,
and the exposure to like everything.
Exactly. Like, my dad like fully is just like, I think you're okay. Like, I just think you are. He's always just like, I don't see, like, your mom talks to me and I don't think that, like, he just like doesn't, not that he doesn't understand, because like I know my dad's even been on antidepressants before, but like, I don't know, it's just like a lot of the time, like, I feel like everybody in this generation has like some sort, I mean, I guess not, because Maddie doesn't, but like, I feel like most people are dealing with some kind of like struggle that they just like, it doesn't even necessarily come from something. Like, you can't point to something and be like, this is what is making me feel like this. We just like are in an unnatural environment. We have our phones all the time. Like, it's just like things that you shouldn't, that like other people didn't.
There's so
really
many different things. I think like lack of intimacy, like overexposure to every single thing.
Fucking trauma, which is like a huge thing that I'm realizing. Even if you don't have like major trauma in your life, which you could even say that you had major trauma, like a parent leaving, or even having a like parents that.
Even divorce for people is traumatizing, like anything, or like having parents that constantly
yelling at each other, like shit like that you don't think affects you in your adulthood. Like, if you can take the time and go back and like, because that's like a lot of things I had to talk with my therapist, because I was like, I don't have trauma to point to that explains why I am the way that I am now. But she was like, there's big T's and there's little T's. Like, there's big trauma, and then there's also little trauma that's harder to point to. But that doesn't mean that it didn't happen and it didn't affect you in like certain ways. It's just like a lot of it you even block out of like how you were treated by your parents. And it's mostly was from how you were raised, and like even going to public school and stuff, like that shit can fuck you up. Like, I still remember shit that people have said to me in like 8th grade, and like even 6th grade and 5th grade, I can remember what people have said to me that I've held on to. It's just a lot about
weird though, that someone can say something to you one time as like a child. I remember this one guy looked at me and said, why are your arms so hairy? I was in like 3rd grade. I've hated it ever since. I literally went home that day and stole her razor and started shaving my legs. I was like 10. My mom, I started wearing pants. It was the middle of the summer and I wore pants every day for like 2 weeks. My mom's like, what are you doing? Why are you, like, it's hot. Why are you in pants? And I was like, well, I cut my legs on accident trying to figure out how to shave because this one little boy told me that I had hairy legs and now I'm insecure. everything just affects you a lot more than like,
yeah, everything you're storing in your subconscious, and it just gets like built up and built up. Half the stuff you don't even remember or like think that you have back there, but it's affecting your choices now. It's crazy.
yeah.
But our mom's doing all right with it.
I know, I'm really
where
off
did we
track.
go with this?
No, she's great. Like, she really is as supportive as she can be. Like, she
feel
does
bad
as
for
much as she can. I also feel bad for her, but
I'm so sorry that I have to put you through this every day.
yeah.
But also, like, I feel like the worst that I've ever been is in the past. Like, I don't think I'm ever gonna go back there. Hopefully, like, I don't fucking know. But
Same.
like, when I look back, like, I was even talking to my college roommate. She like messaged me and she was like, I watched your Q&A. Like, I'm so glad that you've been like progressing so positively. Like, you're doing so much better. And like the whole time in that video, I'm literally like, I'm doing horribly. Like, what the fuck do I do with my life? Like, I'm so like, my mental health is bad and blah blah.
Yeah.
And she literally was like, and I messaged her back and I was like, I'm so shocked that you think that I've been like progressing positively and like you see me doing better, because like I don't feel like I'm doing better. And she was like, Alison, the last time I came over for the weekend, I had to leave early because you locked yourself in a bathroom and were crying and you had such bad anxiety and told me that you didn't even know how to be my friend anymore. And I had to leave early and she didn't even live there. Like, and I forgot about all that. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Like, that was pretty bad. And so like from other people, like I actually am doing a lot better. And when I look back to how bad I was, I'm like, holy shit. Like, I have actually progressed a lot. It's just like, when you're in the moment, it still feels like you're always just like looking at the next thing and being like, I'm not here, so this is bad. But you're not here, which means this is actually good.
And I think too, it's easy to be like, oh, well, I still get anxious. It's like, I'm not having panic attacks every single day to where I'm crying and shaking and sweating and vomiting. But it's like, I still get anxious. So like, I still feel like I'm like struggling. But then if you do really take the time to like look back and be like, oh, like, I literally walked circles in New York City for 6 hours because I couldn't stop convulsing.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, your anxiety used to be really bad.
It was really bad. Like, I never slept over at people's houses. Like,
even I didn't understand your anxiety for a long time.
Yeah.
I think you had it way worse before I ever had it bad.
The first time I ever felt anxiety was the first time I ever smoked weed. And I went into like this immediate panic mode. And then I didn't smoke again for like a year after that. And literally, I think for like the next at least once a week after that, I literally had panic attacks and I had no idea what triggered them. Like, I just would be sitting there and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I can't breathe. And it was like that for a really long time. And that's why I like got on my antidepressants, because for me, it was more anxiety than it was depression. Like, I definitely would listen to some Skinny Love and cry in the middle of the night by myself. But like, it was more for my anxiety. Yours, I think, was more depression.
For sure. Here, Mom, have one of each. Have fun.
Figure them out, baby.
How many tattoos do you have, and do you want more?
I don't even know.
How many do you have? 6?
1, 2,
5, 4,
3, 4, 5. 5.
Do you want more?
Yes.
Yeah. We both
want like
more.
sleeves, but gotta buy groceries.
True. Yeah, I think I have 8 or 9. I'm not positive. I think I have 9 now, actually. But yeah, I definitely want more. Like, I literally think about tattoos like once a day. I'm like, damn, I hate seeing tattoos when people are getting them. Like, I feel like everybody in your friend group is constantly getting new tattoos, and I'm just, every time I see the stories, I'm like, no.
It's a very LA thing.
I want a lot more. I really like I don't know, at first I didn't know if I liked it, but I think I really do like the more sporadic, you know, like the girls that just have like,
that's
random, like no order to it. It's just kind of like,
not like a sleeve, but just like random ones.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I want like a full sleeve, but I know I just want like them all over. Yeah. And I definitely want like a bigger piece, like on my arms.
Me and Alison looked at each other yesterday and we were like, what's your next tattoo? And we both pulled up very similar images and we were like, that might be a problem.
Yeah.
Because we literally already have 3 matching tattoos. Or I have 1 tattoo in her handwriting and 2 of the same exact tattoos. Yeah. I only have 5. So that means 3 out of my 5 are Alison Henry themed. I'm scared.
Do you have any ghost stories or spooky, unexplainable experiences?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I hate that I have no answer for this. I'm like trying to think, but
I definitely have like spooky experiences.
Oh, I have
just
a
like
spooky
people
experience.
pranking me.
I just thought of one. So when I was in high school, I was dating this guy, and he had a friend. They used to come over to my house and like sometimes spend the night. I used to have bunk beds in high school. We were sleeping on the top of the bunk bed, and Morgan and his friend were laying on the bottom bunk bed. I don't remember exactly what happened. I don't know if I woke up first or if he woke up first, but I just remember waking up and his friend was sitting in my chair in the corner of the room, and he was just like literally just staring. And it was like 4 a.m, and we wake up and we were like, what is he doing? And so him and Richard left. Like he literally was like, I have to get out of here. And he told Richard that he was like, he felt like demons in my room, and he was like seeing demons and shit, and was like, he said my room was like demonic or something, and he couldn't be in there anymore. I was like, cool. Like, yeah, so that was pretty spooky.
But you never saw or felt anything weird in that room?
I don't think so.
I definitely don't feel like that house ever was haunted.
No, I don't think so either.
I feel like if anything, that was like our least haunted house.
Yeah. Which one is the most haunted?
Definitely Martin's Farm. That one just gave me the vibes.
The basement was a little creepy.
Yeah. The basement always, never mind. I was gonna say I always had bugs, but that just makes it sound really gross.
There were some bugs. A centipede thing.
Yeah, it's all centipedes everywhere. Alison's got some secret admirers in here.
Read it.
I have no clue how I can make you fall in love with me. So well, let me start by saying I love you.
This one says, is your mom, dad, or other family members still Christian?
Our mom's definitely still Christian.
Yeah, I don't know, there's like levels to Christianity. There's like the hardcore, like, you know,
the
like
Karens of the Christians.
The Karens of the ones that are like, you're basically not a Christian if you don't go to church and read your Bible and like not drink and do all the, you know, all the typical sins or whatever. Like, so our mom is not one of those. So that makes it easier.
She definitely just identifies with Christianity. And like, normally we would go to church on like Christmas and Easter, like some holidays and stuff. And we celebrate like Christian holidays. Like we still do Easter and everything. Yeah. But she doesn't like, I don't know. It's not that strict.
She's not like a practicer. She just believes in it.
Yeah. I mean, I think she practices it in her own ways. Like I think she prays every once in a while and stuff. But like,
to most Christians, that would be like, you're not a Christian. Yeah. If you're not a practicing Christian, you're not a Christian. Yeah. Like, a lot of people would say that. Not all of them. And then, my dad's not a Christian. He never has been.
My dad's Jewish. Our sister is like the same as us, whereas like, I don't know if she would identify as Christian or like agnostic or...
I don't know. We've talked about it a little bit. She was... Last time I talked to her, I think she was just like really on the fence. She definitely doesn't practice it or anything, but she doesn't know, because we all grew up with that title,
like going to a church every weekend. Like I would go to choir. I would go to like Bible camps, and our mom sang at the church. Like we did ballet through our church. Like we were very involved in our church when we were like growing up and we were like actual children. And
then we kind of like fell off for a little bit.
I think we just moved, and so it's harder for us to find
away from the church.
A church that we liked, because a lot of the churches that we like ended up going to were just like stadiums, like massive
mega
events.
Churches. Yeah. And then I got back into it in high school, and then I was on a high one there for a minute. But I don't care what you are. Like,
it doesn't really matter. Like it would never become a family issue.
Yeah, I mean, but it is like. Just it
would make it hard.
Yeah, it's not, thank God. But like, I would say, if anything, my family is like progressive Christian, which is, I don't want to say it's like the only type of Christianity I can tolerate, but at the same time, like, that's a religion where like you're basically not imposing your beliefs on other people's lives and like telling them what to do and if they're bad and going to hell and stuff, which a lot of Christians hate progressive Christians, which I think is just interesting.
Our aunt is like a very much a Karen of Christianity, and like there's been times where we've been there for Thanksgiving and she will blatantly say she's going to heaven and her children are not going to heaven and we are not going to heaven, and she will be thriving and we will be burning in hell. And it's a very heated, lovingly debate.
So it is tough having a parent that has such a strong belief not just a different belief, but a belief that makes you really bad in their eyes. And I think that's what's toxic about it, is just like, it's not like if Christianity was just like their own thing, doing their own thing, and they didn't have opinions on what everybody else was doing, then great. Like, that's why progressive Christianity, like, I don't have a single, I'm like, I respect you guys so much, but when you're like policing people on who to love and what to do with their bodies and all this other stuff, then I'm like, okay, now I have a problem with that, because that's harmful to other people, and your belief doesn't give you a right to like be harmful to people and say harmful things. Even if you think it's out of love, it's to the other person, it's not loving, you know. So
I think that's just like one of those things that, like, as you grow up, is just something that can separate, like, families the same way that, like, politics and, like, you know, all the stuff that's been going on with, like, COVID, obviously, and, like, Black Lives Matter and stuff, like, having conversations with your family about stuff like that. If you disagree on things that you support so differently, it's hard to, like, connect on certain levels. And so it's kind of just, like, a similar concept as that, is, like, if your beliefs aren't the same, sometimes it's just going to be hard to, like, be around them and just...
Yeah. Last question is, how has living in LA changed you and your perspective? I'll let you go first, because I'm going to gather my thoughts. Oh my god. I almost just started bawling my eyes out. That was the meanest thing.
Yeah, what the hecking? We were just like 35 minutes into filming this, and her phone just blacks out.
Like, just camera just goes away, back to the home screen, like nothing ever happened. And
we're like,
we checked the photos. There's no video.
35 minutes
My
of
heart
footage gone.
Literally just drops. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
We hit some good topics.
Yeah, I
too.
was so happy with this talk, and oh my god.
But then it came back.
But then we checked it again, and it's there, guys. It's there. We got a second chance. That was so rude, though.
I would have just died. Do you want to go first?
It's a tricky one.
There's like a couple different ways we can answer it.
Yeah, there's a few different...
Because I could be like, it definitely changed my perspective on how expensive it is to, like, live on your own.
Yeah.
Because...
I mean, I've lived on my own before, but yeah, no. Living in LA on your own is, like, a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, I lived on my own when I was in college a little bit, but, like, even then, I was, like, an hour away from my mom. So. Yeah.
It's definitely a lot different than I thought it was gonna be, but then again, we're in a fucking pandemic. So... Yeah. Like... The whole reason you moved to LA for all the cool things that you can do, all the cool places, and like that's been taken away. So there's really nothing different from living here than in Georgia, pretty much. Like,
we're like, oh my god, so many vegan restaurants.
I know, like everything that we wanted to do and accomplish, like when I got out here, is like not available. Like, or at least way harder now to, you know, do. Yeah. So, like, I can't even go to, like, a fucking coffee shop and work. Like, you know, like, I can't do anything. So, it does suck.
I feel like it's kind of like this if you move anywhere, but especially LA, I feel like just attracts so many different kinds of people. And so when we first moved here, like, getting to meet new people with such scattered backgrounds.
Oh, yeah, that was
like,
awesome.
And I still get to do that when I meet new people, and just, like, it's kind of just like a melting pot of like all these different people with these different dreams, and like everyone's just doing such cool things, and like it can be hard to like compare yourself to people that are always doing really cool things, but at the end of the day, it's just like coming from a small, and not even a small town, but like coming from where we grew up in, it's just like you get very accustomed to everybody growing up the same way. Like there weren't very many variations of like our childhoods, and like all my friends grew up in like the same cul-de-sacs, and like our childhoods were all very much so similar. So coming here and you meet people who like have gone through so much like trauma or just anything, like I've met anyone, done anything, like it's just so different, and it really like has sparked my fascination for like humans and psychology and like why people act the way they do. That's mine.
Yeah, I just feel like COVID ruined everything for me.
I mean, COVID
maybe that's just like an
sucks
excuse.
Ass, but...
Like maybe I'm just like using that as like a scapegoat, but like at the same time, like I don't know.
It's also changed my perspective on like homeless.
Oh yeah.
Like homelessness. Like homelessness here is really bad. It's just like really sad.
Yeah.
To see the like to go from like when we first got here, we would be in these $1 million mansions, and then on our way home, we pass like all these homeless tents, and it's just like the wage gap and the difference between the rich and the poor here is like so crazy.
Yeah,
like it's very rare to find people that are somewhere in the middle. I feel like you're either really rich or you're struggling.
Yeah,
it's also we haven't even like been to that many places.
Yeah, like I still haven't been to like. I've been to Venice. We've been to Venice like what, like once or twice. Well, maybe you've gone more than me, but
I don't think I've been to Venice. I've been to Santa Monica a lot, but
I've only been to Santa Monica a few times. Like I've been to Malibu like once or twice.
Yeah,
and never been to San Francisco. Like never been to San Diego, or I went to San Diego once. Like yeah, there's still a lot of places that like we haven't really explored. But once again, it's kind of hard to do that right now when nowhere is open, and you know, like you can't just go see whoever you want to see whenever you want. Like, so yeah, it's made it a little interesting, but hopefully this is all over soon and we can just go back to normal.
You think everything will ever be normal again?
No, I don't think it'll be normal again, but
the weirdest thing for me is when I'm like watching shows or movies and
me
I'm like,
too.
where's their masks?
I know. When people shake hands like in like crowded places, I'm like, don't touch them.
I know, like, oh god.
Yeah, it's that is weird. The fact that we've been wearing masks and like not being close to people for like that long, that it's weird to see it in movies.
But it was also weird to see, because like Grey's Anatomy's last season, it was about COVID.
Yeah.
And that was weird to see too, like them being in a hospital and everybody wearing masks. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, that's trippy.
On? It was all weird.
Yeah. Life is weird, man, but
life is crazy.
Alright, I think that's it from us. Are you done with yours?
I still have like a tiny bit left.
But you ate more than I did. I got a little bit left. But that was it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope if you made it to the end, I don't know who did. It's gonna be pretty long now. I didn't think this was gonna be a long video. But
we just got into it.
Hope you guys are doing well and just hanging in there. And that's it from us.
Oh my god!
What?
I don't know why my face is so red.
It's hot in here.
I'm not well. I'm hot. I've been hungover for 2 days.
Yeah, you need to go to sleep.
I need to go to the hospital.
Okay, bye.
Love you.